Drive Angry with Nicolas Cage. You got a small part.
I saw Tom first time in about 6 months ago in 20 years, and he said, "Oh, so what have you been doing lately?" And he said, "Oh, I retired." And ever since we kind of kept up, and every time I talked to him, he said, "Hey, I'm working. I got to do." I said, "Tom, didn't you say you retired?" You were constant.
Yeah.
Constant.
I do. I'm lucky. You know.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Woo! They act like I'm long-winded.
Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Tom, I know you're tired from answering that question.
Jill, shut up.
What's it like? What's it like having the most influential mustache of the 80s?
I'll tell you, I've always loved having a mustache because I was unfortunately born with an upper lip like Elmer Fudd. And when I don't have a mustache, I think I look really goofy. So I always wore one, but I never thought it would get me Stacey Nelkin and Jamie Lee Curtis in bed within moments of meeting.
And what about in the films?
I mean, in the movies, you know. Only in the movies.
Who else? Someone?
Mr. Atkins, while we're on the subject of movies that have massive cult followings, I'm wondering if you can give us your thoughts on working on Halloween 3.
What
Thoughts on Halloween 3?
What about Halloween 3? Oh, working on Halloween 3? Well, I told a bunch of you that John Carpenter.
He said Halloween 3, Tom.
John Carpenter's original intent was to make an anthology of Halloween movies, and he wanted to make a different one, not necessarily every Halloween, but every movie was a different Halloween theme. But, Halloween 3 was already in the chute to be made, and the producers said, you know what, Michael Myers is through the roof. We're going to make a ton of money on Michael Myers, so you can make this one because you're ready, but don't ever make another one except Michael Myers kind of Halloween. Working on the movie was great. We had a good time. Tommy Lee Wallace directed it, John's pal, the guy he grew up with, and he wrote it and directed it. John did the music for it, was in on the casting for it, but that's all he had to do with it. It was a lot of fun working with Stacey. We worked up in Northern California. We had a good time.
Hey, nice.
There you go.
I liked it.
Tom, you seem to get most of the questions. That's because we all think you're the man. But this is for Jason, Steve, and Joe. How old were you guys when you did the movie? Because I watched it before you all
Children.
I'm gonna let Jason, because I don't know where she's gonna go with this.
He's smart, because you guys might not even know that that's Steve Marshall's dad at the end of the table. Steve couldn't make it, but we appreciate his dad coming down to represent. Hi, everybody.
How old were you, Steve?
I was 26.
No, you weren't. You were 24. I was 18, 18 or 19.
He was 18.
You were
18.
and I was 22.
I was on.
She's still not sure how old she is, so just bear with us.
Jill had to do it. Sort of a nude scene.
She didn't have to. She wanted to.
She wanted.
Ask her. I didn't even know that. It was the
They
80s.
begged me.
No.
We
Who
were
wants
all,
to do a nude scene?
on the
Jason
moment
and
she
Jill
was
are
going
like,
to do that,
no,
on the day she was going to do that scene, we all made sure we were on the set, behind the cameras, watching. And that's as close as any of us got.
They were actually hiding under the bed, Fred told me.
We tried. No, I was the oldest of the three. I'm the oldest of the three of us. I think we shot in '86, right? So I was 25. You're younger than me, I won't say.
I was 21.
Yeah. And
Oh, by the next Q&A. She was, yeah, I was about 13, 14 maybe.
We used to go to bars and stuff because we just hung out together, whether we were shooting or not. And Jason is like this got this massive head, and he looks. So you know, I was very slight and young looking. I'd get carded, and he'd be walking in. He's like 18 years old, and he would just
Say,
walk.
what's up, Jason? How's it going, man?
And they'd be like, hold up there, young feller. Yeah.
We were talking earlier, and I was saying how he looks like the older version of himself from when we made the movie over 20 years ago. But Steve looks older, and I certainly look way older. Joe looks like a slightly older version than she was a while back. And he said Freddie Decker, who also looks like it was just 3 weeks ago that he shot the movie, said that the reason is they never grew up. He became a lawyer, and I just got old. But they never grew up, and that's why they look so young still.
That's truth to be said in that, I think.
I just figured, I looked around on the set while we were making the film, and I said, is there anybody I want to emulate? And I looked at Jim. It's not going to work for me. Jill, and I don't have the money for the hormone shots. Tom, you know, all I got to do is grow the mustache now, and I'm playing you in the single dude.
Anybody else?
This question's for Tom. What was it like working with John Carpenter as a director?
John was okay. I'm not a huge fan of John. I was a good friend of Adrian Barbeau's.
Don't hold back.
Before I knew John. And John's he's very reclusive, he's very standoffish, he is not social, he is, he is a great director, and he's a good man, but he's just very hard to communicate with, and he has a lot of trouble communicating, and he's always seemed to be much more interested in the rubber of a movie than the people of the movie, and I think most of his films are like that. I think The Fog was very personable. It was a good ghost story, a terrific film. And I think Starman was a really wonderful film for him to make, and very unlike him. But the rest of his stuff is pretty, you know,